Thank you, Paige. Perfect. So we will go ahead and get started. Hi, everyone. My name is Abby Blackwell. I am an HR specialist at ScanSource. My job and what it entails, I really focus on college and university relations and recruiting. So you'll see me coming to events like this, career fairs, doing workshops, going to classes to speak to students. But all in all, it's really to help build a pipeline to bring on the future talent for our internship program, as well as full-time opportunities. So I'm really excited to be able to share some of those opportunities with you all today. But before we get into the opportunities, I did want to go over a little bit about ScanSource. So some of my slides are going to cover, again, who is ScanSource, what do we do, what does that company culture look like, and then we'll finish it with the opportunities and then the Q&A. So looking very broadly at ScanSource, we are a leading global provider of technology solutions and services. I know that statement's really broad. So in this slide, all you really need to be focusing on is the fact that we sell point of sale and barcode, networking and security, communication type devices, and cloud-based solutions and services as well. But more specifically what we do, this image does a great example of explaining that we are a two-tier technology distribution company. So ScanSource, we purchase technology products directly from manufacturers, which this is the first thing that typically confuses students, is that they think that we are making technology and that we have engineers creating technology, and that's not the case. We are strictly purchasing from manufacturers. Some of the manufacturers that we purchase from could be Cisco, Honeywell, Sony, Panasonic, Microsoft, Square, you name it. We're probably purchasing the listed technology products from them, and we purchase from 400 different manufacturers. Once we acquire that technology, we then turn around and we sell it to a reseller who then sells it to an end user. So an end user could be anything from a hospital to a school to a retail store. But as you see in this image, we're not selling directly to Starbucks, for example, we're selling to that reseller. And this is the other part where I get the question of, why is the reseller there? Why is ScanSource there? Why doesn't that reseller just go directly to the manufacturer and purchase a technology for themselves? And that's because of the reseller that ScanSource is specifically targeting. So the reseller that we target either doesn't have the time or the money to provide value-added solutions for themselves. So what I mean by that is departments like marketing, finance, customer service, that the reseller doesn't have those departments. So not only is ScanSource able to provide technology to that reseller, if they come to us and they say, hey, I really need a marketing campaign created in order to sell the technology that I purchased from you, that's great. We're able to provide that for them, and they can use our marketing department as an extension of their company. So again, not only are we providing technology for our customers, we're really that overall solution, so our customers don't have to go out to all of these different third parties to get all of their needs met. However, I do want to go back to the end user and just point out something for them specifically. So like I stated, we're not selling directly to that end user, but I always like to show where our products that we sell end up in the long run. So if you're to walk into a Starbucks, you may look at a barista and see her checking out a customer with the barcode scanner. You may look at the back of the store and see Wi-Fi being broadcast to the patrons of the store, or look at the ceiling and see a dome-shaped camera filming the patrons of the store. So those are just a couple of the products that we sell and where they end up in the long run. But moving forward, I really want to talk about our company culture, because I don't think anyone in college or anyone growing up has ever, pictured their life in two-tier technology distribution. It really is our company culture that brings people in, because yes, it's cool to work in technology, but our company culture is really what has made us one of the best places to work in South Carolina for the past 6 consecutive years. So the first thing that I do want to note is the work hard, play hard type of attitude that we embody at ScanSource. So our managers, our directors, our VPs, our CEO, and everyone in between, we all understand that we need to get our work done. We need to get it done to the best of our ability, and we need to get it done on time. However, we also understand that, work doesn't just have to be work. It can be fun too. We can make it fun, because ultimately we want ScanSource to be a career for people, not something where they wake up and think, oh, I have to go to my job today. And ScanSource has done a great job of embodying this day after day after day. One example that I love to give for this, because I think it really just puts into perspective that work hard, play hard environment, is our Olympic game week that we host during the summer. So in the summer, all of our sales teams get divided into different teams within the organization, and they compete throughout the week in Olympic style games. So anything from 3-on-3 basketball to my personal favorite that I saw was when grown men were riding around the cubicles in little tricycles to race towards a finish line in the middle of work. But at the end of the day, we participated in all of those events all week. Everyone was involved in some sort of capacity, but we all got our work done and we got it done on time, and we were always there to support our customers. So again, we understand when we need to work, but we also like to have a great time doing it. Moving forward, touching on community involvement, this is what really brought me to ScanSource, and it's something that is really amazing about our company is our ScanSource Charitable Foundation. So this foundation is completely overseen by ScanSource employees, and you're able to give monetarily through your payroll deductions, or you can also give with your time. So we have a lot of different organizations that we're involved in within Greenville. One specific example, so this past year we donated winter coats to the local police station to be able to hand out to children who weren't able to afford coats for the winter. Something else that we do, so we actually host a rivalry week where we bring in a USC foundation as well as a Clemson foundation to raise money for throughout the week. And then we bring those individuals on site. So we had Taj Boyd and then Holinsky. They were on site past summer when we were able to have people on site. This year they were virtual, but we were able to have these really great events where we're raising money for, notable organizations within South Carolina and specifically Greenville, because we know that so many of our employees are so involved within the community, and we want to be able to give back in whatever way that we can. The last thing that I will note, and it's a huge one, is wellness. So we really prioritize wellness at ScanSource, and I'm just going to touch on a couple of these things, but we have a very broad wellness program that goes even beyond what I'll mention. But the image that you are seeing there is actually us opening our on-site wellness clinic. Again, this clinic is on site. It is only available to ScanSource employees and their spouses, and it is completely free for ScanSource employees and their spouses. We have 2 nurse practitioners from Prisma Health who reside in this wellness clinic. So, when you are going, you are going to meet with professionals who know what they're doing. But on top of that, you're not going to be paying for it. And you don't have to go to a minute clinic to sit around, 10 other sick people who you don't know what they could possibly have. So it's a really great benefit that we do provide our employees. Right now, it is shut down just because those nurse practitioners do need to be in the hospital working there. However, when we're back on site, this will open back up and again, continue to be a really great benefit. Another thing that we really prioritize with wellness is our 2 on-site gyms. So we have one gym that has a ton of equipment, so ellipticals, treadmills, weights, anything that you could need. And then the other gym is more of an open floor plan. So in that open floor plan gym, we actually host Zumba and yoga classes during lunch as well as after work. And since COVID has happened, we have shifted, and all of those different Zumba and yoga classes are done virtually. So we still do provide that. Our physical trainers record those sessions and do them live on Zoom. So you're still able to participate in that. And then the final thing I will note with wellness is that behind our facility, we actually have a nature hiking trail. So it's about 1.5 miles long, I believe, but there are picnic tables out there where you can sit and enjoy meals with coworkers. And there are a bunch of water features out there too, but it's really just a great way to get outside of the cubicle, get some fresh air. And I know a lot of our teams even have meetings out there too. So again, it's just another really great way that we try to promote wellness at ScanSource. So moving forward with opportunities, because obviously this is the big one that everyone is looking for. So starting with internships, we are actively recruiting for our internship program right now. The positions that we do have available, you have to be a rising senior in your undergrad. So you would be currently a junior right now. You would participate in the program during this summer, the summer of 2021, and then go into your senior year. So if that is you, you would be graduating in August of 2021, December of 2021, or May 2022 to be eligible for this program. What it looks like, it is a 10-week program, again, that occurs during the summer. It is Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 5:30, and it is a paid opportunity. Right now, it is looking like our internship program will be done virtually, just based on how our workforce is doing. So we're all still working from home. If we're able to go back before then, that's great, and we'll be able to bring our interns in. But right now, we are preparing for a virtual internship. Our internship program is definitely not an internship program for someone who wants to, file or make copies or get coffee for people. This is an internship where you are going to be getting hands-on work in your field of interest. Specifically, I can give an example of a marketing intern several years ago. Her first week of the program, she came in thinking she was just going to shadow the whole time. But in her, I believe it was her 5th or 6th meeting that first week, she actually really stood out to one of our suppliers. And that supplier wanted her to completely oversee a several $100,000 marketing campaign and push it out into the market at the end of the summer. And that marketing campaign was utilized even 2 years after she had left the program. When I say we're giving interns really hands-on work in your field of interest, it's going to stand out on your resume and make an impact in the long term. That is what we were doing. We take that very seriously. The next piece of our program is the professional development piece. So again, we are always looking for ways that we can develop our interns and make sure that you are given, the best skill set to help you move forward and get full-time opportunities past our internship program and past graduation. And that piece comes with those professional building workshops. So once a week for 10 weeks, we host workshops. It could be anything from resume building to branding yourself on LinkedIn, networking and interviewing, financial literacy. So we have a lot of really great workshops that we've set up to help set you up for success past, again, ScanSource, or just coming back and being a full-time employee at ScanSource as well. That's what we hope and have our fingers crossed for. And then finally, the last piece of our internship program is the presentation to the CEO. So this is something we do require for all of our interns to participate in. And at the beginning of the summer, you are actually partnered with several other interns within the program. You're given a case study, and all summer you work on this case study. You make a presentation and you find a solution to that case study. That's then presented again to the CEO, other executives, vice presidents, and managers of the company. All in all, it's around 150 people there to listen to you present, and they take this very seriously. Our CEO, he sits at the very front, takes pictures of every person and of every slide, and follows up with really great questions, because he understands that our internship program isn't just there to have interns for a short time. It really is to build a pipeline of talent to bring on the future leaders of ScanSource. And I can speak specifically to that. I was an intern, in summer of 2019, and now summer of 2021, I'll be overseeing our internship program. So when they see that you have potential, they're going to move you into those leadership positions that you otherwise wouldn't have gotten several years down the road. Moving forward and looking at our full-time opportunities. So if you're graduating in May of 2021, first of all, congratulations on almost being finished. But second of all, we have a lot of really great opportunities for you to look at ScanSource. So the first thing I will mention and preface is that ScanSource, our job board, we hire on an as-needed basis. So the jobs that you see posted today, we are looking to fill as soon as possible. That means that typically for people who are graduating in May, we just advise typically starting to look at our job board around the second week of March, because that's when you'll be eligible for those opportunities and you'll be graduating fairly soon. So it's an easier sell to our hiring managers to say, hey, go ahead and start interviewing this candidate. They're really great and they're graduating, in a couple weeks. So start looking, first or second week of March. March starts next week. So it's really soon that you'll be able to be eligible for positions. But you'll want to go on ScanSource.com and just look at the roles that we do have. We have a lot that's coming through the pipeline for sales. So if you're interested in being a sales associate or an account manager, those are great first steps in getting your foot in the door and understanding technology distribution. That would be great for an entry-level candidate. Another thing that I do want to note is that ScanSource, we actually have an acquisition called Intelisys. They got us into cloud-based solutions and services, and they're opening up a part of their business to support the East Coast. So they'll be located in Greenville, South Carolina as well. They are expected to hire 100 new employees this year. So this is a great side of our business. It's very rapidly growing. So when you go onto our job board, please note those jobs that are supporting Intelisys, because that's going to be a great opportunity for you to jump on board Intelisys when they're just moving and supporting this East Coast. So definitely check out those Intelisys roles as well as ScanSource roles. And I'll be sharing my contact information. So if you log on to our job board and you don't even know where to start or what is entry level, you can always reach out to me in those next 2 weeks and just say, hey, this is what I'm interested in. Is there anything on the job board that is applicable to me? And I can connect you with those correct opportunities. It's just a little bit hard right now just because those are coming through the pipeline and I don't know exactly what's going to be posted within the next 2 weeks. The next thing that I will note for our application process, so obviously you can apply on ScanSource.com for any of the roles that are available. What happens next is from that application, we do follow up with a phone screen. That phone screen is either going to be with myself or with my manager, Joey Malamug. And it's really just an idea it's really just a way for us to get an idea of what your experience is and to make sure that you know the role that you're getting into and understand ScanSource. And then from there, it does move into that interview with the hiring manager. And then the final interview that we do have in our process is a panel interview with the team that you'll be working on. I did also want to share this information. This is going to be really great if you are a senior or you are going to be a junior this following year, because you'll be able to get information about our internship program. So we're actually having a virtual open house on March 25th. It's going to be a great opportunity to get an understanding of ScanSource as well as the different departments that we have. What that day is going to look like is each hour of the day is going to be hosted by a different department. So you may have an hour that's hosted by sales, an hour that's hosted by marketing, an hour that's hosted by finance. So you'll be able to get face-to-face interaction with those hiring managers. They're going to be able to share what their department looks like, what ScanSource looks like, as well as more specifically, what roles would you be eligible for that they know are already posted or that's coming through the pipeline as well. So if you are interested in this opportunity and just getting more information, obviously reaching out to this email, I do want to preface, it's not, signing you up for anything. We're not going to bombard you with a ton of ScanSource information or force you to come to the open house. It's really just saying, hey, I'd like to get more information about what this looks like and the schedule of events for that day. If that's something that interests you, just email recruitmentteam@scansource.com, or you can also email myself. I'll be sharing my contact information in a second. But all you'll need to share is just your name, your major, your graduation year, and your school. And we'll make sure to get the correct information sent to you about, again, the schedule and the RSVP link if you do decide to join us. But that is all the information that I have about ScanSource. I'm excited to have a conversation to get to know you guys a little better and answer any questions that you may have. But this is my information. Feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. I share a lot of different roles that we have that are going to be open for full-time roles as well as internship positions. Or feel free, again, to reach out to me via email and I can connect you with those opportunities and answer any questions as well. But with that, I will stop sharing the slide deck and then open it up for any questions.
Awesome.